All right, everybody. Well, welcome back to the Scales Homestead. Well, like I said in a previous video about, what we've been up to while we had been away and whatnot, I said that we was going to start getting back into this. So I believe I had said in that video that we was going to do a fall garden, even though we didn't do a spring garden. So what we got to do today is clean this mess up. You see all these was oak trees that was growing because so many acorns fell this past year, and we didn't do nothing with it. So you can see right there, there's still a few alive, but it got so hot and so dry that most of them died. And you see, still got a bunch of old junk in here. See, it just comes right out. So we're gonna pull all that mess out, and then I'm gonna take this weed eater with that tiller head on there, and I'm gonna till all this stuff up. Let me get all this tall stuff out of this, and most of it will get churned up into there, because we're gonna come back and refill the beds with some dirt. We had them filled up like to here. Spring of last year, they was full like up to here, and now you see they fell a good, compacted down a good 6 inches or so. You see this bed's just full of junk. So also in that last video, I had found a hoard of old chicken eggs, and they're still there, right down in there. I got to do something with them. They're gonna stink and probably blow up. But as you can see, this one's got all these vines growing all over it that I'm going to have to pull down and get off that trellis. And then Ashley's going to come in here, and she's going to do all the planting. I'm going to do all the cleaning and prepping, and she'll do all the planting. I ain't real sure what all she said she was going to plant. She read it off to me a little while ago, but it was a lot. So this bed we actually never planted in last year, but it's still, compacted down. But they're all gonna get filled back up. All this stuff, like, see this big old thing right here? Lord, that thing's like a tree. We'll get all that out, get it in a wheelbarrow, get it composted down to the compost pile where it'll compost down. So I'm gonna set y'all up on a little time lapse over here, watching me clean this first bed out and maybe the second bed, and let y'all see what we got going on. It's time to get ready for fall. I mean, it's already September, middle of September, and we got to get this in the ground before the end of September so it can start growing before it gets cold. So you know how it is. Well, you homesteaders know how it is anyway. So without further ado, here we go. So as you can see from that little time lapse, this is just one half of this bed tilled up. There's still a few little straggler pieces in there like that, but I ain't nothing to pull out by hand now. It's been tilled up. So you walk around on this side, see, like, this is before and after. So it's a pretty good difference. So we're going to do that to all of these beds. This one, that one, the other two over there, and that one right there. So I'm going to get the other half of this one done and show y'all here in just a little bit what it looks like with a complete one done, how it looks. And if you remember from last year's videos, we also had a solid wooden bed over here, right here last year. But it was my first attempt at building that raised bed, and it failed miserably. I mean, we grew good plants in it, but by the time this year rolled around, it was already starting to rot, fall apart, all that good stuff. So it, yeah, we tore it down and just kind of spread the dirt out in the yard because there wasn't a lot of grass there anyway. So we just spread the good dirt out all over the yard and give it a good place to for grass to take off. And then we, of course, then we hit 3 months with no rain, so the grass didn't grow in it. So it's just a big dirt spot. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to this, and once I get a couple of beds done, we'll come back in and talk a little bit more. So see y'all in a bit. Alrighty, so I got this bed nice and pretty. Like there's a few little scragglers like that that's got to be pulled out, but that ain't nothing to it. So what I decided on these beds, since they sunk so far down, is I'm not gonna worry about tilling it up. We're gonna throw out a layer of fertilizer in there and then fill it up to the top. That's gonna be a couple of days before I can do that though. We got a lot of stuff going on, but this is the one that had the vines all over it. And well, there's still some pieces of vine left laying in the bottom, but I'm gonna rake all that up. But so you get the gist of what's going on. We're going from that and that to this. So here in a couple of days I'll have it finished, but it'll be it's not going to be in this video. We're going to end it right here. You kind of got the idea of what we're doing. I mean, y'all seen me fill these up with dirt already before, so I'm not going to make y'all suffer through watching me fill them up with dirt. But we got some more stuff be coming up. It ain't long before I go to work, so it ain't gonna be too much this hitch. We got football games and, you know, church and all that stuff, so that's gonna eat up most of the rest of my hitch home. And filling these up, clean these other 3 up, and fill all of them up the same day, and then that's gonna be a wrap on that. She can plant them while I'm going to work, and it'll be ready. May have some sprouts by the time I come home from work, and you can see what's happening in the beds then for the fall time. So anyway, we appreciate y'all watching. We glad y'all kept on watching videos even through us not putting videos up for a long time. But we're gonna get back in the full swing of things and get everything popping around here. I got some new chicken area I'm gonna be building and a new rabbit area and stuff, so we'll be having videos on that kind of stuff coming up. And like I said, we appreciate it, and we will see y'all on the next one.